I'd like to go straight into the next team if that's possible. WeGrow, if you could share your screen and start your presentation, we would love that.
Yeah, I'm on it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. You can start now.
Okay, you can start in 3, 2, 1. Start.
Good evening, afternoon, and morning to everyone in their respective time zone. I'm Snigdha from Team WeGrow, and we're working on what causes price fluctuations and the possible solutions to it. So Bangladesh is an agricultural-based country, and 63% of the households rely on farming to earn, but more than 60% of their generated income is not coming from agricultural sources. So why is it happening? Why are farmers not earning as much as they should? And here, where WeGrow steps in, WeGrow is a agro-fintech company based in Bangladesh that is ensuring that the farmers have access to the required finance and end market, and they also equip them with farming knowledge and market data to improve their working practices. So since we're talking about price fluctuations, we need to know what causes this fluctuation and what are the key problems to it. So moving on, we found out that lack of market knowledge is one of the problems of price fluctuation. The farmers don't know what is going on the market, so they cannot determine the price, and they sell it on a very higher or lower price. And transportation is also one of the problems for price fluctuation. Transportation is costly now because of the increasing price of fuel that affects the overall price of the crops. And political instability also affecting the price. Some certain government rules, policies for fertilizers, seeds, and farming are the main reasons for it. So to overcome these problems, we need some solutions, and here are some solutions to it. We increasing outreach to farmers and accessing them to the necessary resources. And then we can also take help from WeGrow, which is an agri-fintech company, to make them know about the market data, the farming knowledge, and finance. And we can also incorporate machine learning and AI for the price predictability, for more accurate price predictability. On Longinus.
Thank you, Snigo. For this price predictability, since there has been price fluctuation because of different problems happening around the globe, the global community needs to find ways to help reduce the hike in price of agricultural produce so as to promote food and agricultural security. Looking at Bangladesh, Nigeria, and USA from the charts, as you can see, the price change in tomatoes vary from the wet markets. This change is as a result of some factors being mentioned by my colleague. In the case of Nigeria, there was a flood last year, which eventually led to damages of agricultural produce across the states. The farmers were indecisive on a stable price for their agricultural produce. Also, consumers couldn't buy as much as they need because they can't afford the current price of food in the country. What are other countries doing about this? We have the sustainable agricultural practice. These entails all stable and development practices that can be implemented to safeguard and promote agricultural growth, thus implying the welfare of farmers, the market, corporation, and every other parties involved in the supply chain of agricultural produce. Such practice is the AdGrower scheme, which we believe WeGrow is implementing in Bangladesh, all thanks to them. We have the machine learning. This requires a set of algorithms followed through by technologies in order to predict price using expert systems and deep learning on agricultural data provided in respect to its job functionality and price predictability. And moving on to the next, we have human centralized system and GRNN model, which is generalized regression neural network. This system involves using statistics from historical data and analysis by humans on reason for the change of price on agricultural produce. It follows a linear structure from inputs to the patterns, summation, and down to the outputs, which happens to be the production that are compared and filtered out on each phases until a reasonable output is considered. From our research, these models are very effective in their implemented sites. Thanks to our Team WEGROW, the judges, the audience, pathfinders, explorers, the United Nations, and every other team involved in this innovation change. We are grateful for your time and audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. I'm going to give 30 seconds for the judges to get their thoughts together. In the meantime, I would like to get the team to just prepare themselves for the questions. And after each presentation, I'll be giving the judges a minute to just get everything together and get their marks together before the next team presents. If the judges are ready, please proceed with your questions.
I can go first. So you presented some tools. First of all, thanks a lot for the presentation. And you presented some tools like machine learning, for example, which is some big words. And you explained what it is, but it's hard for me to tell with your explanation, how does this apply to this? Like, how is a tool actually going to be used for these particular issues? So you say the tool can help with price predictability, but how is it actually going to be helping with that?
Yeah, hi, thank you for your question. So essentially, we researched a lot of machine learning models. I mean, we don't have the knowledge to actually create our own, but the best model in research that was used in Odisha, India, was where it studied, and that's similar market price fluctuation to Bangladesh. So the model, and that was kind of like what was shown on the one slide, it's called the generalized regressional neural network modeling. Essentially, the way it works, and like it's in the way that I understand it, is that it's similar to the way our neurons flow. So like each node has a certain amount of information, and it'll send information to specific other nodes. And it would be applied here. We don't really have like the means to like actually apply it or like give any more advice other than that. But the GRNN model is the one that we would recommend. And yeah, that's how it'd be applied.
Great. Thanks. Really, I was very keen on looking into this because it's a real problem. The price fluctuation is a real problem. But probably the political instability is not so much. I think that's a common thing that comes out when you talk about it. But it is basically the lack of information that they want to identify. Now, the farmers are mostly not used to this fine tech devices and everything. How do you think you're going to kind of make it more user-friendly and visible for the farmers? How do you kind of think that the farmers can use it more easily? Because there are initiatives that have tried this, but one of the biggest problems is the farmers have not been able to use those tools. So that's why I was just thinking that how do you make it more user-friendly?
Good evening. I'm Shanid. I'll be answering this question. Now, talking about the user friendliness of this situation, Team WEGROW will actually be processing this entire thing and ensuring that it is more simplified. And considering that Team WEGROW is also, WEGROW, the entire enterprise in itself, does communicate and also train farmers in process of agriculture, providing seeds and stuff. So they will also extend this training to understand the things that will be going on. Of course, they will be simplifying this so that so that the farmers can understand basic price fluctuations. Today it is this, today it is that. Of course, the whys will be more complicated. So if they're actually interested, they will be informed of this as to why it's happening. So all in all, we will be essentially dumbing it down and simplifying it so that it is easier to understand. We'll be taking away most of the informational factors, but also let it be available. And we'll be presenting the actual necessary price fluctuations and the basic reasonings as to why it's happened. Fuel road conditions have worsened, fuel prices have increased, natural disasters somewhere has occurred.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really like the slide where you look at it from perspective of different countries. And I think sometimes some of the best innovations are something learned in one country that can be then moved to and customized for another. What was that experience like for you guys? And were you kind of surprised by any of the perspectives from the other countries?
Yeah, hi. Thank you for your question. So we were actually really pleased with our team. We have representation from 3 different countries, as we've shown. I'm from the United States, so this was somewhat of a learning curve for me, learning about produce and market prices in Bangladesh. However, like some members of our team actually went out and went to markets and took pictures, and I was able to see those, which was really cool to learn about. Additionally, more on the secondary research front rather than primary, I learned a lot. We even studied India, like I mentioned earlier. In Kenya, they use you can like text a certain number of the name of a produce and they text you back what markets and where it's the best to sell it. So it's really cool. There's a bunch of different models and yeah, we really enjoyed this process, I'd say.